Introducing new Moth Be Gone. Welcome back to WETT The Splash, the home of all your naughty little secrets.
We are live from the scene of the accident, and the death toll has climbed to a staggering rate.
Here's one for the algorithm.
Uh-oh.
Lately, my favorite thing to do is crawl into somebody's attic and try to figure out which beams I could hang myself from.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've realized that I think some beams wouldn't be able to take the force. And I've considered getting good at knots because, you know, what if I just want to get two beams involved? And then that way, like, can you imagine?
There's a lot of good knots out there.
All right, imagine you were at the point where you're actually okay with killing yourself, all right? This one's going to get buried in the algorithm.
Okay. We're going here.
Yeah, dude. Imagine you're finally there and
This
you
isn't an ad for Batman problem, is it?
No, they'll come eventually.
Thank God. Okay.
You finally did it. Everything is just finally toppled over to the point where you're like done with this. You know, you go get some rope
Some good old-fashioned rope.
and you
Choke yourself out a little
you
bit.
tie around the beam. You know, pull your pants down so people think you were jerking off, so it's less sad. And dude, you hit that beam and you're so fat that you break it. God,
no.
dude. What's that day
Oh,
like?
no.
Oh,
dude.
man. 'Cause
How
you're-
do you explain that to people?
No,
Yeah.
Oh man, I know you were hoping that you weren't going to have to.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
like, you figured the note was going to have everything they needed to know. But now, dude, now you're just laying on the floor, just feeling like a fat piece of shit.
Defeated, bro.
Defeated. You can't even
Yeah.
kill yourself.
Yeah, no. There's no way out, bro.
What a silly way to do it. I think I'd have a lot more fun with my suicide.
Yeah?
Like, just realistically. Like, I think,
It seems like you've thought this out way too much.
since I was a child.
So way too much, bro.
Like, when I was a little kid, I used to think, like, all right, well, like, I wonder how many flips I could get done. Like, if I jumped off something like the Empire State Building.
Fucking God, yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
just like, if you really went for it and you
Yeah.
were like, you were just going to tuck your body and just have a clicker in your hand.
Or the reverse, that you're walking on the around the block of the Empire State Building and you're hoping somebody throws a penny off the top.
That'd
you
be
know?
sick, yeah,
And it
yeah,
hits
yeah.
you right square
Just
in the
hanging for
fucking
it,
dome.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know.
then you have a bunch of, then you get a bunch of kids to go up there and start throwing change.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey kid, here's $10. Throw all this change off from me.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
There you go.
And you can keep that $10 bill.
Do you have friends?
Yeah. Can you just occupy all four corners of the Empire State Building and then just throw off a couple pennies every couple seconds?
I'm surprised this hasn't happened, where somebody hasn't, like, just fistfuled a handful of pennies off the Empire State Building and killed, like, 7 people. Because I wonder, is that like a myth?
I don't
is that
know.
a real thing?
I don't know.
It'd be a
you know?
hilarious and shitty way
Well,
to die.
I mean, I think it would be difficult to not get caught, because if you have a bunch
Yeah.
of fucking coins, you just jingle jangle all
Well,
the way up.
That's
you
why
know?
you use children.
Yeah, so still, you
Yeah,
know,
well, they're
like-
using it for wishes and for Ice Cream Man. time.
Where is the wishes that they could in the Empire State Building?
Everything. I mean, they're living in New York City, man. The
Oh, you mean
biggest
outside
wish-
of it? Okay.
The whole world's a
I
dream
was
to
like,
them.
is there a wishing well inside the Empire State Building?
That'd be sick.
Is there like a secret floor that has all this stuff?
Dude, what's going on in the rest of that? Because, I mean, it's got to be
Businesses?
kind of weird to be, like, just trying to go to work,
Mm.
you know, and you got to share the elevator with, like, 1,500 tourists.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like every
Yeah.
time every time you wanted to call the elevator at work, it had to go like 113 stories up and down first.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because somebody's always calling it, or do you think they have their own?
Well, I mean,
They probably don't
I
have
don't
their
know how they handle, because I haven't been to the Empire State Building since I was like a kid, you know. But if they like update the tech, they might have like anywhere between 6 to 8 elevators, and
Yeah.
then like a main elevator for going up to the top and or tourists, you
Yeah.
know, because like at work, even for the buildings that only are 5, 6, 7 floors, you know, there's about 4 to 6 elevators, you know, that
Yeah.
you can kind of go into.
True.
And that's how they deal with the traffic.
Yeah, maybe like just the left side or something. Is
Yeah,
tourists
and
the
it's
right
less
side's employee
now
only.
where you would go in and choose your floor, and when you're at the floor, you choose the floor you want to, and then an available elevator is summoned to that spot,
Yeah.
you know, and then it goes to that floor, you know.
I wonder what the chances are. I bet it's not even a chance. I bet you there's empty office spaces in that
Oh yeah,
fucking
oh
building.
yeah,
And probably a
oh,
ton
for
of
fucking
them.
sure,
Ton of them.
for
like
fucking
floors.
sure.
Floors
There's
that aren't
empty
being
office
used.
buildings
Everywhere.
in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, 100%.
I think the furthest I think I've ever gone up on an elevator, I don't know what the Coit Tower is, but I've been to the top of this brown building here in Concord, and that's like 12 floors.
Oh fuck yeah,
Yeah, like I used
the
to.
one in is it Toto Santos, right? I think.
yeah,
right?
it's like right by it. But That building's big enough to where, like, when I used to deliver pizza, sometimes the actual wind around the building was strong enough to take my hat and almost take the pizza.
Jesus.
Like, I used to just give up my hat or not wear it when I would
Yeah.
go to that building. I'd
Yeah.
just be like, well, it's either gone or it's staying in the car.
Holy fuck.
Like,
dude.
I'm just not doing this every
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you'd walk out and, like, the pizza would just hit you in the face like a rake, dude. Just the wind would hit you, and just
Yeah.
boom, right up.
Just almost knock
Fuck.
you out.
Yeah, like, trying to hold it. Like,
You can't tell if it's pizza sauce or blood that's
yeah,
on your
just
lip
fucking
right now.
bleeding.
Yeah. dude.
Dude, I got a customer the other day with some bleeding that was pretty funny. So I'm at this
What?
I'm at this customer's house, and like I'm not even working on their machine. I'm just teaching them about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were moving in, they needed to know, when's this motherfucker gonna break and what do we got.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at him, explaining things, and I had turned it off, and I go to put my hand in the blower motor, right? And that bitch is still on for some reason. Now it's not on like it's cranking, but it's like it didn't stop spinning for some reason. So like I just scared myself. Like I hit the fins of the blower motor, and I immediately yanked my hand out.
Okay.
And when I did that, in front of this motor was a metal bracket that holds a circuit board. And it's very sharp on the back side because
Okay.
you operate from the front side of it.
Right.
So the back side is literally just sharp metal corners made out of sheet metal. So when I ripped my arm back, I took this like chunk out of my fucking wrist.
Oh shit.
Yeah, this is like healed
Oh
almost.
my fucking god.
No, the funny
I'm seeing
part,
it right now. Yeah.
the funny part about it is like I didn't react at all. Like I'm used to kind of hurting myself on this job, but also like I'm talking to an old lady, right? So I'm not just gonna start flipping out and panicking because I'm bleeding.
Totally.
So like I keep talking as if it didn't happen, and then finally at the end of my sentence I go, "Oh, and by the way, can I get a Band-Aid?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah," hella
Like
confused.
what the fuck?
And so she comes back with the Band-Aid, like just a normal one, and
Just like lady.
and she goes,
please.
I don't know what you hurt, but I just suggest that you wash it off, whatever it is. I was like, that's a good idea. If I go to your sink. And then I put my arm out, and she goes, oh gosh, I'm gonna get you a bigger Band-Aid.
yeah.
And so she gives me one of those big fucking Band-Aids, one that you put over like a whole child's knee.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
one of those good ones.
Yeah.
And I had that thing on all fucking day, but
Yeah.
it's like 110 out.
Sweating.
So I'm sweating through it, and it's bleeding through it.
Yep.
And I just remember it was so funny. At the end of the day, this was the beginning of the day when this happened. So now I've worked 8 hours,
Yeah.
just sweating and bleeding through this fucking thing.
Yeah.
I'm finishing up with the last customer. I just got done explaining to him what I did and how it got fixed and what we're up to. I go to shake his hand, the Band-Aid falls off, and he goes, "Oh God!" It was such a perfect response.
Poor guy.
It was like, "Oh, are you dying?"
Mortified. Yeah. He's like, thanks, sir. Oh, dude.
Oh no, no!
We need to go to the hospital.
What did you bleed
Hey,
on?
you need stitches.
Is there blood everywhere? Fuck!
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Oh my god, dude! I've done that a few times to customers. Just been actively bleeding and been like, "Hey, can I get a
Can you
Band-Aid?"
help a brother out right now?
Yeah. It's almost like I think I've asked almost for as many Band-Aids from customers as I have like if I can use their bathroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I sneak with it. I wear suspenders, so I'll just fucking drop my left side and piss out in the yard. Like nobody knows I'm there. So I don't ask people to use their bathrooms anymore. But like, because one lady told me no. And ever since then, I've just been like, well,
Fuck
you know
these
what?
bitches.
Somebody's getting peed on. Something.
Yeah.
And, dude, today I took like the stealthiest but fattest shit there's ever been.
What the fuck? What do you mean?
Dude.
What do you mean stealthy?
Because I didn't ask.
Oh, you just use a bathroom?
I didn't ask.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
at this
Yeah,
like
yeah.
rich person's house.
Yeah.
And similar to like when I went to Julia Roberts' house, I found the master bathroom.
Okay.
Right? And this rich fuck, he's downstairs. He's the only one in the house, and he's like, just like one of those like really really rich people that clearly only works from home. Maybe he goes to the office every now and then, but he's so big
Yes.
shit. Like he's pretty much
Executive.
just
Yep.
And so big shit's just hanging out in his fucking little man mansion, and he's like, yeah, just where they are. Like I've already met him before. So I'm up in the master, and I just feel it in my stomach, and I go,
A little
oh,
gurgle.
oh no. And then I had a flashback to this morning. Because this morning, you know when you wake up and you're like, as soon as you wake up, you're like, I don't want to go to work today.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even...
Regular.
It's not even that I have something to do. I just don't want to do it. Just today.
There's no motivation. Yeah.
Today's just not the day for me, you know? And so I'm going to work this morning and like I'm dragging my fucking feet. And right as I'm pulling out, I see my neighbor from across the street walking over towards the van. So I'm like, hey, you know, how you doing? Good morning. And she goes, I have this giant piece of blueberry coffee cake. And I'm not going to eat the whole thing. Can I please give you some?
Oh.
And I'm like, well, fuck me. Yes.
Fuck
yes,
yeah,
of course you can.
Oh, yeah.
So she goes, turns around. I bring the van up across the street to her place because I am leaving for work.
Yeah. Little breakfast snacky.
So I come out and she gives me a napkin and says to grab just this fucking hunking piece of blueberry coffee. Oh, so fire, right? So I'm
a nice lady.
I get to work. I get my first things, my first calls. I get on the road and then I look down. Oh, there's that cake. Right, so I start eating it. It's fucking scrum diddly umptious, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
And I noticed on one of the bites, I was like, it kind of smelled like cheese.
Oh no,
Right?
dude!
So like,
I
was
think I
like-
know where this is going.
I was like, was that my fingers? Like, did I scratch my balls and just didn't remember? Like, do my balls already smell like this? I haven't even started work yet. Like, that's not good. So then I take a few more bites. Because I'm driving. I don't even think about it. And then finally I look over at the fucking thing, just covered in mold.
Oh,
So much mold. Right? So now fast forward, I'm in Rich Asshole's master bathroom. And my stomach gurgles, and I immediately remember just the feeling of seeing all the mold.
Yeah.
And how I was probably 90% of the way through this piece of
my
cake. I mean,
God,
we're talking about like I was just at that crust edge.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Fucking,
And like
dude, she tricked you.
she poisoned me.
Dude, that
fucking
almost feels on purpose,
evil bitch.
bro. Like,
Yeah,
did you
fucking-
tell her?
No.
I would have fucking
No,
told
because
her,
I'm
bro.
hoping she ate the other piece because it was bigger. Dude, so
I would have told her straight up, like, hey, that shit was moldy as
it's
fuck.
like,
You
hey,
understand?
did you eat that, by the way?
Jesus Christ.
And they're like, wait
dude.
for the response. Like, yeah.
It's like, ha.
Good.
Did you go to the bathroom yet?
Jeez.
No. It's like, oh, I clearly got most of the mold then.
Yeah.
What
dude.
mold? Oh, okay, there it is.
so I'm up there and like I'm thinking about the mold and like I literally just it was beautiful, Thomas. It was beautiful. I mean, pants down, as soon as my ass cheeks hit the bowl, just one of those logs that like dives into the pea trap but
Oh
still
my
catches air out the back.
Yeah.
You know, like a
Yeah.
small bird's gonna land on it, you know? Like it's just like
It's a
island it.
docking bay.
Yeah, you know like when you see one of those like manatees and then a bird standing on it at the top of
On
the
the
water.
top of its face or head, yeah.
because it's right there above the water.
You
like,
breached the water,
yeah. I breached, but it was one of those like literally just a sit down, perfect. Like almost didn't even need to wipe, just massive
clean.
load.
Yeah.
And I immediately just stood up, hit it with the one wiper,
Yeah.
and fucking flushed it
Yeah.
like nothing happened.
Those are
I mean,
beautiful when they
We're,
happen, dude.
we're talking about like 45 seconds tops.
Wow.
Me walking into the bathroom and
Wow.
then me like sneaking out with my overalls. You
Yeah.
trying to
That's so,
trying to get my suspender
that's
back
so,
over.
It must feel so weird because like I'm definitely the type of pooper, we'll say, that like I have to sit on the toilet for maybe a minute or two
Yeah.
after I've completed because I kind of like almost like my bowels have to rest, you know, after or like I don't know, I maybe have to make sure I have to get the last little bit out, maybe there's a couple
you
nuggets
never
or
know.
something,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Well,
But
see,
like I'm a very much like a like you start the install or the deposit, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
deposit happens and then the machine has to turn back off before I can leave
Yeah,
the bathroom,
yeah.
you know.
So I mean, I would say regularly, yeah, definitely. Like I take my time, I get it done. But like, you know, when you're shitting in Julia Roberts' master bathroom,
In and out,
and you do
bro.
not want to get caught. Like, it's either you take the moment or you don't.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah. So when you came out of the bathroom, was
he
the
was still downstairs. He never knew.
cool. No idea.
Never knew. Like I literally, like I left, I shook his hand. He
Yeah.
no idea. I shit
The
in
house,
the
I'm
bathroom.
sure, was it so big that like
He probably didn't even feel it.
How many bathrooms does he have?
Probably a lot.
You know? Yeah,
You
it's
know
like,
what I'm saying? Like
what are the chances of him going into that bathroom today or that day?
upstairs was literally 5 bedrooms and a bonus room, and the bonus room was huge.
That's a whole house, bro.
Yeah,
That's-
just upstairs.
That's more bedrooms than my current house. Dude.
Just upstairs, dude. It's
That's
fucking crazy.
Oh my god.
It was a big fucking house.
I wish, dude.
But-
I really wish.
But Julia Roberts' house, dude,
Yeah.
there was like 15 bathrooms.
That's
was
insane.
There was bathrooms at that house that were for the help.
Yeah.
That like
Yeah.
literally they were just built into like side yard areas where they would hold their equipment and shit. Like not nice looking, not furnished. Like you're talking about like a dark, terrifying room with a toilet and a sink.
Yeah. Where people get fucking stolen, bro.
Just everywhere.
Yeah.
There were shitters. Just and it's almost like
Shitters everywhere.
it's almost like she had a policy that like you can't shit in my house.
Probably.
But
I almost bet you probably.
And you can't get mad at me because there's at least 7 different options outside for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I almost would bet money on that's probably what happened.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
especially when you get to that status and that level of money.
Dude,
you know?
the view she had from her shitter.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, I think not
beautiful.
even just the bathroom part. I think just the adversity of letting people into your house. Period. When
Yeah.
you're that level of fucking
Yeah.
money and fame, like there's a lot
could
of
lose
things.
them.
Yeah, you could lose those people. They could steal from you. They could potentially hide in your house when you're not there anymore.
Oh, dude, they could steal from you. You
like-
wouldn't know for months.
Yeah, dude.
Unless it was something
you're-
super important to you.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. Or you're like a fucking psychopath that knows
Yeah.
where everything is
Bro,
all
like,
the time. You know.
When I worked at that like $14 million little guest house, $14 million. It had its own movie theater in it.
What the fuck?
And in the movie theater, I mean, we're talking about a movie theater where the
Rows of seats.
there's
and shit?
rows that are ascending.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like an
Upwards
amphitheater
of-
almost.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
then-
fucking crazy.
And then a hidden curtain room where all the actual gear is hidden.
oh, cool. They had like an AV room.
Yep,
That's
yep.
dope.
There was an AV
dude.
room with a sink
That's
and
even
a
like
mini
has
fridge.
money. That person has money,
Dude,
bro.
the HVAC was they had an AC furnace system just for the theater, and it
Wow.
was and it, just like a real theater. The vents were in the floors.
wow.
So as you're walking down,
damn.
you're feeling the cool air on your
yeah, it's
ankles.
comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, dude, and then Miki blankets on everything, and Keikiko blankets. They're like $400-$500 for a blanket.
What do these people do to make so much fucking money, bro?
Oh, I know what that guy
understand,
did. He was
dude.
the fucking, and I don't even give a shit. He was the founder, CEO of 24 Hour Fitness.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gyms. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
The
Yeah,
real
yeah.
estate agents, they always try to not tell me because they can't,
Yeah.
and I always figure it out. and I
Yeah,
don't
it's
give a
always
fuck.
real estate
It's
every
some-
time,
It's
dude.
some old lady gonna tell me I can't put in her air conditioner because I told the world about how I shit in Julia Roberts' bathroom.
Yeah, well,
No.
fucking-
Okay, it's
yeah.
hot outside.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm not going for the mayor.
Right,
So I'm
right.
not afraid to like
yeah.
like no, I work for this really important person. It's kind of cool. But
Yeah, yeah.
this one I found out because of subtle clues, but
Hmm.
there was a full virtual golf driving range in the garage,
Damn.
full basketball courts, full tennis courts, full
Wow.
multiple
Wow.
courts. A giant pool that had a Playboy cave at the end of it, and where the inside of the cave is a hot tub, and then on top of the cave is a fire pit with a slide that wraps around and goes into the pool. And then tons of those little fountains all around the pool that shoot strings of water into the
Yeah.
air like Vegas.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fuck, man, massage room. This was the guest house. Like, this was just something he designed almost like he wanted like a
That's
hotel
so
next
fucking
door.
crazy, dude.
Yeah, like
That's insane.
and yeah, like I remember when I first got there, like it was just me and some real estate agent's assistant, and that motherfucker didn't know where anything was. So he
Damn.
was just like,
It's
"What?"
that fucking big.
Yeah, so he was just like, I asked him, I was like, so do I just have freedom to go wherever the fuck I want? And he's like, well, yeah. Like, you got to find it. And here's the thing about, like, you know, HVAC. It might be a hatch in somebody's closet for all I fucking know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going everywhere, dude. I'm
Right.
going in the bedrooms. Like, it's what it is. Like, if your shit's in your bedroom, well, then I'm going to be in your bedroom.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it's not, well, then I'll just be peeking my head in, you know, smelling
Yeah.
your panties, getting it moving. But yeah, so, but yeah, like, so I'm in this like giant rich house, and like you said, like so easy to steal. I could have been I could have been off with all sorts of
Swooping
shit.
shit,
They would
yeah.
have never fucking known, probably.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just literally, just no. Like, there's no way. Like, unless they they're counting inventory on that shit. How many blankets we got?
Maybe,
But the
I
blankets
don't
were just
know.
randomly placed. It wasn't like one per seat.
Yeah. They
You know?
weren't being returned to a specific place.
Yeah,
Clearly,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like. Fuck, dude! I want to know how much that house is worth, dude. Like,
14
what
million.
has got? That's it, really?
Yeah. Well,
That's
it's a guest
insane.
house.
I know, but like,
It's only a 4-bedroom.
I was thinking it was going to be like at least like at minimum 15, but okay, I guess I was close.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
still.
Well, I mean, because
like-
it realistically is only a 4-bedroom.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's
yeah.
so all the money went into the amenities and whatnot.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Like,
okay.
Everything that could have been a bedroom is just a dope fucking room instead.
Yeah.
Oh, and the garden's crazy next
Yeah.
to the fucking the mini golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jesus, like
Dude,
koi
honestly,
pond.
like
the koi pond was like fucking huge.
the koi pond is cool. I can see how like building the courts are expensive, but a one-time expense thing. What blows me away is like, dude, like that theater probably was north of $1 million by
Easily.
itself.
Easily,
know?
dude, it
like,
was
by
sick.
itself, right?
It was sick, dude. The equipment was all fucking
Yeah.
just high
Were they
end.
in racks and shit?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, dude. Like,
Dude,
that's,
it.
I don't know. Do you know happen to know how big that video wall was? Like, would you, if you looked at our garage, like, how was it taller than my garage right now? Slash studio space.
The video wall itself, like where you're
yeah,
watching
the actual
picture,
LED wall. Yeah.
I would say
it'd
it'd be slightly bigger than this wall.
Yeah. Okay.
your
Okay.
doors on it.
Yeah, that's not much smaller than the video wall we have in the auditorium at work. You know,
Yikes.
mine's maybe a couple feet in all directions bigger. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
right? And that video wall was north of like $500,000. You
Oh,
know?
yeah. Dude,
like,
and it had a little
like
stage.
650 or something.
It had
Yeah,
a
dude.
tiny stage in front of
Stage is
it.
expensive because of the concrete and like the
Oh, yeah.
support system that you need to go to.
Well, the AV room.
If they're running cables underneath that concrete, you know,
Oh, yeah.
like AV racks are very expensive. Some pieces of gear alone are $20,000 and up. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like, dude, like he probably spent a good couple mil on that fucking space.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah,
bro.
and I got to work
Like-
like hand in hand with the guy who designed and built the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah, he was a
yeah,
cunt.
yeah. Was he
was
really?
such a
God
cunt.
damn it, bro.
He is such a cunt, but it was one of those things where like he saw me and immediately challenged.
Oh,
Like I think
the young thing.
the young guy
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like just it's always the young guy
Yeah.
thing with these fucking guys. Like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's gonna be in the fucking way. Like,
Yeah.
just one of those kind of things. And he's asking me to like move my van so we can get this just crazy amount of cars shuffled to get one of them out. And like I don't got any problem with that whatsoever. So I do that for him, and I just he said something. This is a long time ago now, but he said something to me that just didn't sit with me right, and I didn't care who he was, so I just gave it right back to him, and I think I got his respect because he definitely tried to insult me, and I stood my ground harder than I probably even needed to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just straight up. It's like, ain't no bitch, sir.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, so let's get the fucking work, girl.
Yeah,
Get a
yeah.
fucking grow a pair.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm half your age.
Yeah.
Let's get fucking working. I'm trying
Yeah.
to find some shit.
Yeah. Of course.
And then yeah, like after that, like he became super cool. He's telling me how he
That's
designed the HVAC systems and like just a lot of the shit and the electrical and what these people were looking for. And it was cool, man. Just seeing like talking about the process of building somebody's chaotic dream house.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like this guy's got an unlimited budget and wants a lot of crazy shit, and he trusted me to make that happen. And I'm gonna go get a lot of Mexicans and like 7
Yeah.
or 8 dudes who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And we're gonna fucking
Make a fucking
everybody.
dream house,
Everybody
dude.
gets 6 Mexicans each to do whatever we're doing.
Evenly spread.
Evenly spread.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got 7 dudes, 56 Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? It's 8 per dude. Everybody's got a whole team. Like when they build those houses in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Can we do it, folks?
Yes, we can.
See? No.
Who said that? Not
Roofers?
me.
Is that the roofers?
Was it you, Juan? Over there?
We need more roofers?
No, it wasn't me.
No.
Yes, it was him,
We
senor.
need more people, less money.
One of them is. One of them rats out the one that said no.
Was him. Oh, man, dude. Like, yeah, that must have been crazy amounts of work just
Yeah.
to even consider. People don't really think about, like, what it took to make certain things. Like, You know,
Oh yeah,
like,
certainly. Yeah.
like just in general, like when you look around the house and you think about like how many motherfuckers were involved in trying to put this thing together, how many arguments were there, how many times was there almost a fist fight just building this house alone?
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
dude, for sure,
Yeah.
bro. Well, even too, like, I think that could be said for many things. You know,
Yeah.
not only like a service or like, but like, I don't know, like tech in general. We were talking about this today, briefly, where we were miking up somebody with using a lapel microphone, and you know that a lapel microphone has a wire to it, right?
Yeah.
You know, but every single time I mic somebody up and I tell them that it has to connect into a body pack, they don't quite understand, because I feed the wire underneath people's clothes and their shirts and stuff, right? It's like, all right, here,
Yeah.
can you grab this, feed it down through the front of your shirt, and then grab out from the bottom and pull through, please. You know, get that whole spiel every time. And they always like, oh, why do I need to hide the wire? And I'm like, yeah, like we're not going to have a huge wire hanging out in front of you right while you're presenting to people, you know.
You're gonna wave your arm and unclip that motherfucker instead of flying across the stage.
Yeah.
That was expensive.
Yeah, and I would,
Hide your wire.
right. And I was thinking about it, and I was talking to Adriel, like he's the audio person for the folks who don't know, one of the audio people in our space. Well, people can't talk right now.
PPL?
Anyways, and it makes me wonder, like, how many people don't know that the microphones that they see that are clipped to news anchors,
Yeah.
whoever, right, that don't know that there's a wire connected to it, you know?
Yeah,
like,
that there's like a big pack on their ass.
yeah, like there's literally a transmitter somewhere on their
Yeah.
body.
I've seen it a
you
lot
know?
in like behind the scenes shit for like sitcoms, you know, whenever you get like the bonus footage.
Yeah.
And you'll see it sticking out of their ass, just like a big fucking box.
Yeah, it'll just be on their like hip or
Yeah.
in their pocket or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Or
It's huge.
yeah, dude.
Especially
And
the older ones. They're
and-
big as fuck.
the comedians sometimes have them when
Yeah.
like they don't have a handheld, or some studios will go so far as to like give you a lapel in case the handheld dies out for some reason, or
Yeah.
vice versa. You know, like, but yeah, like. It made me think, I'm like, how many people don't realize that these people wearing microphones that you can see, the little
Yeah,
lapels,
yeah.
right, have wires attached to them, you know? And it's like probably a lot, honestly, you
Yeah.
know? And I think it's because you get so comfortable with seeing what you see that the veil for what's behind the curtain gets thicker and thicker, you
Yeah.
know? And it becomes even more of like a profound thought when you think about what's behind that veil, you know?
Well, it's like imagine how many people like never even for a second look at the credits at the end of a movie.
Right. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and never try to comprehend like, man, like this was like 1,000 people put
Yeah,
this together.
yeah.
This has
Multiple
been
units.
This has been 7 minutes of name scrolling, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes these names are bricked up pretty hard.
Yeah.
Where, you know, they're not leaving
Yeah.
a lot of space between them.
yeah.
It'll be like VFX coordinators. It'll be like 60 fucking people, right? And then it'll be, you know, and then the next one will be like gaffers, and it'll be like 15. And it's
Yeah.
like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. And it just, the list seems
Keeps going.
infinite. And then next thing you see, VFX artist again. And you're like, well, didn't I already see that? It's like Tokyo team. It's like, when were they in Tokyo? When did they need that team? Here's the Australia
Yep.
team. Were they involved? Because
Yeah.
there's like 1,100 people from Australia.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we're on this.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck are
Yeah.
they coming from?
And usually it's like it's there. That's just the studio
Yeah.
where they're from, you
Yeah.
know. And then like, well, why do they need so many visual effects stuff? Because some studios are specialists at things. Like you
Yeah.
have one visual effects studio for just the lighting for scenes 25 and 75. You know, like
yeah.
it's literally that elaborate. So it's so funny for me. Hearing people talk about movies and why they don't understand how much effort and money goes into it. I'm like, dude, you have no fucking clue
Yeah. I
at
think-
all. You should just stay quiet and enjoy the movies,
Yeah,
dude.
I
Because like
think-
you really don't know what you're talking about.
I think the only movie that sheds any light that I can think of would be like Grandma's Boy. Because in Grandma's Boy, they're all in charge of their brick of levels. Right? So, like, it's just like his job is handling the colors for levels 1 through 15. And then the next guy next to him, he's 16 through 31 or whatever. Like, I think that was the first time I ever got any perspective of, like, or when I saw you color grade for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're explaining, it's like, yeah, this is one frame. It took me all day to color grade it, and there's 1,000 of these per second,
Yeah.
or 1,400 per second, or 8,000 per second. And you're like, and you got to do every single one of them. It's
Yeah,
like,
and you have to match them
well,
across
yeah,
each other.
like,
Yeah.
well, then, yeah, we're gonna need like 50 to 600 people to do this then,
Yeah.
because this is crazy. Imagine
Yeah.
trying to make Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because like especially like when you talk about color grading, right? It's you're not color grading every frame, but you're color grading every shot, right?
Yeah.
And every shot. That's why like there's like assistant cameramen and assistants, blah blah blah, for just a variety of different roles because they have to jot all this information down, what frame rate they're shooting in,
Yeah.
what their f-stop is, what the lens they used, what lights are currently used, and how intense they are. You know,
Oh, yeah.
because then you have to go and match them across all the other shots that you're shooting in this movie practically, right? When you're
Yeah.
in production for 6 months. Then you get to post-production, have to make sure everything is white balanced and looks good and consistent across each other, then color grade them, and then match that color grade to different shots. Then you get into scenes that have a slightly different tint to them because they're in different locations, so you can't
Yeah.
quite match them exactly because then it'll look weird. Dude, it goes on and on and on,
and people
dude.
people don't get
Like,
it, and then
yeah.
you go, well, have you ever watched a home video? And they're like, yeah. So you notice that doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh,
yeah.
That's why it's always something so off about watching those. It's like,
Yeah.
because your eyes are better than cameras.
Yeah.
Your eyes are pretty fucking
Your
sick, dude.
subconscious knows what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah,
you
like,
know.
it's all light, and you've got
Yeah.
8,000K. Fuck
Yeah.
4K, bro. You're fine.
Yeah,
Like, your
dude.
eyes are doing shit with the light that
Yeah.
it takes professionals thousands of man hours to recreate.
Even down to
Although-
sound, bro.
I wonder, have you seen the movie 1917?
Is that the one that with the really long shot?
It's
right?
one shot.
Well, it
It's
is
not,
one
but
shot.
it is. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
But the have you seen it?
No, but I've
Okay.
seen many clips from it though.
I think you should. I'd be interested in like talking to you about it because it is really interesting. Because
Mm-hmm.
it is, it starts with them in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, it starts with them right outside the trenches, getting a little bit of nap. Homie gets the orders to go meet the captain. They walk through the trenches
Mm-hmm.
to the captain's quarters. He tells them that he's got to go stop this fight because they're going to be in ambush. So then they walk out and through the trenches the other way. Then they get over the trenches, and the guy explains what they're going to see on the other side. They see it exactly, the dead horse, follow the stink, all that kind of stuff. Into the German side, into a bunker, through the bunker mine, and then out to like this beautiful house in a field. And then finally from there, you can argue it's still a one shot, but it gets a lot more choppy because then he meets a bunch of like Australian soldiers and they pick him up and he's like riding with them a truck for like several miles. That's kind of where it little breaks it up a little bit. But the first like hour
Yeah.
feels like a straight up like they just have 100 yards of a scene
Yeah.
and somehow they were able to do this in one
Yeah.
go. And
Yeah.
then the reality is like that's probably not how that went. That there was probably 1,000 scenes, and somebody was just beautiful with the way that they blended them all together.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think of like because God of War was the same thing, but animated. So I would argue maybe a little easier to pull off.
Yeah, because it's all about what's being loaded behind the screen, you know, because you
Yeah.
don't see behind you, and when the camera turns around, wow, it's turning around to reveal different things. Other things are being loaded behind what you don't see,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
which was crazy technology.
Oh yeah,
you know.
So it is really interesting to think of like how they were able to pull that off to where it does feel like you just never left their side.
Yeah.
You know, because other movies that are great adventure, typically you put a couple stories together to push things around, right? Like 1 minute Frodo is at the bottom and he's seeing that glowing castle with all of the fucking Nazguls coming out of it. Then you go see what Aragorn is up to, then you see what Pippin's up to, then you see what Gandalf's up to. Next thing you know, you go back to Frodo, he's almost at the top of the fucking steps. He's seemingly climbed 1,000 miles.
Right.
Where in this movie, it was more like, well, then you would have had to watch him take every step. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting that they were able to keep it paced well enough while doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the whole movie's a great watch, you know? And it's like the think of like you were able to film the guy taking that 1,000 steps and made it interesting. I think is really different. It's
Yeah.
like I wonder how that's pulled off.
Yeah, the way that they frame the scenes and how the dialogue connects from one scene to the other, you know, becomes way more important because it's, like you said, there's nowhere to kind of fast forward time, right?
Yes.
There's nowhere to hide the jump forward in a way,
Yeah.
right? And I do know I have watched a couple interviews on that movie. It's 1917, right?
Yeah.
Where they have talked about
on Netflix, by the way.
They did. Maybe I'll probably check it out then. they did do huge chunks, right, of where it was genuinely one shot, right?
Yeah.
But when people like say like, "Oh, the whole movie was one shot," it's like, "Oh, okay, hold on." You know,
No, it's the style of one shot. Yeah,
yes, it is. It looks like it's all in one shot, and it is considered a one shot movie.
Yeah.
But when we're talking technically, right?
Yeah, no
there's
fucking way.
probably like a, honestly, I would bet that there's like anywhere between 10, 20, maybe 30 minutes worth of one shot, like actual one shot,
Yeah, because there's scenes where it is no dialogue, just walk through the shot.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, I can imagine you can, as long as nobody trips and falls, I mean, even if they trip and fall on their face, it might actually be good for the story. So,
Sure.
I could see doing those. But as somebody who's done very, very low level acting, the thought of like, that guy memorized an hour and a half's worth of lines, didn't fuck up one time, and they walked away with that.
Right,
duty.
yeah, the
Like,
many
no.
variables that could
Oh my
possibly
God,
go
dude,
wrong,
like,
even just outside of
when
acting.
the
you
plane
know?
comes down and they
Yeah.
they free that German soldier and like, no, there was too many scenes where like easily that could have been fucked up by somebody.
Yeah. Speaking of planes, that's an audio thing. Like, hold for plane. Like, there's a plane going ahead. I hear it. Our audio is fucked. You know, happens often. I just did a fucking shoot.
The whole thing was outside.
This past month, and I had to hold for plane 7 times for one scene we were doing, just because that's where we were. You know,
Yeah.
granted, you can try and avoid airports and stuff.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
ways to avoid that, but that's an example of one tiny variable, and you have to stop. You know, so yeah, dude, I definitely know they did do huge chunks in one shot, which was why it was talked about, because it was an achievement. You know, right?
Well, shit. I mean,
And then the final product was an achievement, you
Yeah.
know, for sure. I'm not discounting that movie at all. Having not seen it,
it's
know.
more just understanding how movies work in
Right.
general, that couldn't have been done that way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But god damn it, did they do it well? Like, I mean, it does look like it does look like you never leave the guy. You know, and it's really well done. Like, there's never that cut to black and cue to the colonel real quick and then cue back to him. You know what I'm saying? There's none of that. Not once. It's you're on him. You're on him the whole fucking time. One of them I think dies like not even that long into the movie. You're still on him the whole fucking time. Like, fuck, they almost die a shit ton of times. Plus, also seeing World War I in color is pretty sick. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty cool because
That
that's actually
style,
what they
yeah,
saw.
yeah.
Because we always grew up seeing the black and white. because
Right,
That's
a filtered version.
That's what it was. Now it's like it's a lot more horrifying.
Yeah, it's like visceral. Right, yeah.
Oh god, now it's real. And like the thought of like dudes just like firing fucking
Getting mowed
nothing
down,
at each other
bro.
and stabbing the fuck out of each other because they can't hit each other with
Yeah.
the bullets.
Yeah,
There's no accuracy yet. Like, it's
Oh,
all
sure,
just,
sure, yeah.
just firing it into the wind and stabbing each other once they're done shooting at each other. Like, fucking A, dude, this sounds terrifying.
Yeah, was
Imagine marching to war.
was it World War II was D-Day or World War?
Yeah, that's
I?
World War
yeah,
II.
okay, yeah. World War II was one I was thinking of, where like people were just getting fucking mowed down. You know? But,
yeah. Well, World War One, people were getting mustard gassed.
yeah, and chemical fucking
Yeah,
warfare in general. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That was a different kind of getting
Yeah.
mowed down.
World War I
They didn't have
was,
the technology for like big populations to go down like a bomb, but
Sure.
they definitely ruined lives.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
They were like forever ruined.
Was the Geneva Convention started as a result of World War
Yes.
I, or was that before that?
No, it's a result of World War One.
Yeah,
it's because
that's
of
where-
mustard
Okay,
gas.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Because mustard gas is really easy to make, and it is a motherfucker to do that to somebody.
Is napalm illegal now?
It should
or
be.
is that because I feel like that what we did to Nam was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I'm sure that's illegal.
You
There's
know,
no way that's okay in war.
like, yeah.
Actually, you know what? It is illegal because I remember there was some controversy when Russia first started fucking with the Ukraine a couple months ago that one of their bombs had some napalm in it. And like that was going to be a big deal.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
if it's napalm, then the whole world gets to attack Russia.
Right,
You know?
right,
And if
right.
it's not napalm, then we're still playing this weird
back
political
and forth.
chess game.
Yeah, dude, isn't that weird how this fucking works?
Hey,
dude?
we're officially an enemy
you know, so of
Russia.
Oh, well, I mean,
We're-
we've been an enemy of Russia forever. you know?
We've been not an ally. What's the word? It's almost been like a respectful race,
Like an adversary in a way.
Yeah,
You know,
like it hasn't been like I'm gonna kill you. It's like I'm watching you, motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it comes to it, just know I can kill you. And
Yeah.
then they're on the other side like, ho ho ho, I kill you, pussy. And, and we've
Yeah.
just been doing that for like the last like 60 years.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
now they're actually declared us an enemy.
oh wow,
Yeah, for like the first time. Who's that's fucking excited?
that's
about
gonna be
that?
fucking wild.
I don't.
Let's see where that goes.
Red Dawn, bro. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. We're in the blast zone.
Yeah.
We're talking about things going down.
Oh, most certainly.
Jesus.
Most certainly. But also, the U.S. is petty enough to, like,
Yeah.
out of all the countries to cause Fallout, the game,
Yes.
probably United States.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Probably
It's
fucking
in
United
the United
States,
States.
dude,
I think
you know?
it's Boston.
Yeah, like, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like our politicians are petty enough to be like, all right, you're going to kill us, then we're going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it because
Yeah.
we have this behind the
Oh, yeah.
curtain, you know,
just-
trillion fucking dollar budget for the
yeah.
military,
I love
dude.
it.
Like, you know, like,
I'm here for it.
it's just like,
I'm here
Jesus
for it.
Christ.
You know what? If you take it all the way back to the beginning of humans, it's not a political thing. It's not
No.
an American thing.
No.
If I
It's a
have
tribal thing, actually.
if I have 10 people
Mhm.
and we're out and about and I see you and you have 5 people and some resources, well, we're killing you. And we're
Yeah,
gonna take
it's a
your
tribal
women.
thing.
Yeah, it's because we have the numbers. So we're going to take the space. We're going to take the resources. We, as people, have always done that. And America seems like something that'd be pretty sweet to take.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
You know, so I mean, we have
For
literally
sure.
protected by oceans on both sides. We're a nuclear hedgehog. We're just a ball of fucking explosives, and we're better at it than
Yeah.
anybody's ever been or ever will be.
Yeah.
It would be pretty sick to get a shot at us. So I mean, I'm for it. Give it to the military.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
to
some
the
pride
fucking
in there for
military.
sure
Yeah,
to
yeah.
try and get like, oh, yeah, we took America down,
Well,
or,
it's also-
or at least gave him a pot shot. You know?
It's also, I mean, come on, it feels good to be the winner.
No, of course.
I mean, fuck
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
dude. World
of
War.
course.
This is the team I want to be on, and I'm not gonna be on Team Canada.
Yeah, dude, and
I
it,
think
you know,
Canada lost like 40% of the population of World War One.
at the same time, you know, like it makes you wonder. This is we're getting into the fucking weeds now of this politics thing, but
yeah.
you know, like the Buffetts and
Yeah.
all those people, like
Gotta
it
have
makes
a
you
picture of
wonder
war.
where their fucking loyalties lie. Because if it's
Yeah.
with America, I don't know, dude. Like, I feel like there's like a dark underworld that is so powerful that they could fuck anybody that they want to. You know,
Yeah.
like country, doesn't fucking matter. Dude.
Yeah.
And if they're on Team America, I don't know, bro.
I
You
think
know?
they are.
Like,
I think like the Rothschilds and all them. I think
that's what
they-
I'm saying.
I
you
think they
know?
must be Team America. 'cause
Like-
this is what gave it all to them.
Yeah, you know, and then
You know?
like, their money might be elsewhere. You know,
Yeah.
it might be informed of elsewhere, so they could jump ship if they need to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but yeah, it this might be arrogance thinking or speaking out of my own like mind. You know, but it feels like if somebody wanted to take America,
No chance.
why haven't they done it already? You know,
there's literally.
like there's been nobody.
I think if
you know,
if you look up the 10 biggest militaries in the world,
Mm-hmm.
number 6, number 7, number 8
Mm-hmm.
are like Tennessee, Kentucky, and like North Dakota, because per state there's like 700,000 to 800,000 registered hunters with rifles.
yep.
We
Well,
have
a militia,
more
dude.
people hunting in our states with rifles
Yeah.
than most countries have
Yep.
for their entire military.
A lot of
You
people have
couldn't-
said that shit.
Like
yeah.
you couldn't
yeah.
invade us. You could take the coasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're kind of fucked because we're like afraid of guns here, and like we wouldn't want to defend ourselves. We'd want to give.
Mm. Yeah,
ourselves
there's
to
a lot of
whoever's-
liberal pussies out here that wouldn't fucking kill.
Yeah,
you know.
and like it's you're never gonna get rid of guns. A Republican or conservative or liberal or fucking gay or Democratic or whatever the fuck you are. There's like 3 to every person already.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just not gonna go anywhere. Like you could try to ban them all you want. It's just they're
Yeah.
not.
I went
We're-
up to
we're-
fucking Seattle, and my cousin has a gun case. You know, he doesn't hunt. He
My
just
dad's-
likes guns.
My
dude.
dad's seemingly ready for another war.
yeah,
Like,
dude.
he tells me every time I call him about the next gun he
Yeah,
got.
our homie Steven, several blocks down, is a fucking arms dealer,
Yeah,
right? You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
like,
it's
it's-
fucking shout out to you, Steven.
No, yeah, the guns will just whether you like them or not,
Mm-hmm.
it's literally just a matter of too late. We're literally a war machine. This
Yeah.
country. This,
Yeah.
this is what we do.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We can't
We
get rid
don't.
of it.
We may not like go to war with big countries anymore, but if somebody attacks us, you bet your ass we're gonna eviscerate them. You know,
Yeah.
it's just in our culture.
Yeah.
It kind of it sucks to say that, but it
Yeah.
kind of is.
It
you
is.
know, like,
It is,
you
and
know,
like
go
it's
ahead.
always gonna be like that too. Like I just watched Oppenheimer finally,
Oh yeah.
and like
I
that.
heard
whole,
that was pretty decent.
it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't hate it. You know?
It wasn't amazing, obviously.
No, it's just a lot of
right?
dialogue, and you
Yeah.
kind of already know what happened if you paid attention in school. So like,
yeah.
it's not like some groundbreaking documentary where you walk away with it going like, "Oh my god, I never knew." It's like, nah, that makes sense. Manhattan Project, that guy, yeah. Einstein's in it, big fucking deal. They just found some fat Italian and gave him an accent. Told me he was German. Like,
Yeah.
It was all right though. Like, but that's another one of those like, it was a race literally just to be the one that's going to be able to kill everybody first.
Right. Yeah.
Because the Germans wanted to kill everybody, and
Mm-hmm.
we were just like, well, what's the one response to that? Being able to do it better.
Yeah.
It wasn't about even
Pretty
peace.
much.
It wasn't. The Manhattan Project wasn't peace.
Mm-hmm.
It was, oh, they're trying to blow up the world. We should be able to do that first. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Or just be such a more terrifying shadow, you
Yeah.
know, that our shadow engulfs theirs, you know? Like,
and then somewhere along the lines, even though we were doing this for Germany and Russia, we bombed Japan with it.
yeah. Well, 'cause Japan thought they could get tough, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, they were those little bastards.
Mm-hmm.
They took over pretty much China by themselves.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You
Those
know,
goddamn samurai.
they tried to, like, take their dynasty to
Yeah.
the world,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then America was like,
No. That was disrespectful.
You know,
You dishonored our boats.
I mean, like, yes, we backhanded a little too hard.
Nah,
you know
nah.
what I'm saying,
Nah,
right? Like a
you're
little
fine.
too hard. And the second one maybe was a little too much.
They-
you know.
They recovered pretty well. Like the tech fucking bubble for the whole world.
Yeah. Oh,
We
that's
definitely
true.
bombed them
That's
into being
true.
winners.
Yeah, they are the little tech
Yeah,
giants
we
of the world.
We
You
just
are right.
killed all the savage ones that were fucking Hirohito blading
Well, yeah,
people
we
to
killed all
death.
the ones that wanted like feudalism Japan,
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
that wanted the dynasty and all of the fucking like
Ne-
go back to the royal family.
That's the
you
next
know.
next Assassin's Creed.
Is it?
It's
That's kind of sick,
feudal
actually.
Japan.
That's kind of cool.
Shogun era.
Fuck yeah!
I'm so excited.
Actually, as much as that era was like, you know,
It's played out.
Right? Yeah, it's still pretty badass though. Something about
Yeah.
it's attractive to me. You
Ghost
know?
of Tsushima was
So-
so good.
Yeah, I know we were talking about that a couple
Yeah,
episodes
that
ago,
was
right?
that was really good. I just hit my 100 hours in Fallout.
Oh, nice.
I finally bought the expansion pack.
oh, fuck
I
yeah.
got lucky. I
Far
got-
Harbor now, right? Yeah.
I got all of them.
Oh, sick.
The
Okay.
Nuka World,
Nice.
all of it. It was on sale for $12, the whole season pass.
Yeah. They're still riding the TV show hype, as far as I know.
No, they knocked it out of the fucking park. Like it was
Yeah,
right.
I finally finished the TV show also.
Oh,
Yeah. I finally watched it all the way through.
so good.
It's really good. I was
So
quite
good.
surprised,
dude. Their Codsworth bot
Yeah.
was perfect.
Yeah.
He was
all the
awesome.
references were
Mr. Gutsy.
on point, you know.
Yeah.
And it was so refreshing. They weren't references that were like, "Hey, remember this? Hey, remember this?"
yeah.
It was just always subtly in the corner.
Yeah.
Or like it'd be like a bobblehead, like in close up in front and frame, but it wasn't like the scene. It wasn't what you were looking at. You know. Like,
And it's
yeah,
like
dude.
it didn't remind you of one.
No.
Right, like just not. It wasn't one Fallout game. It was definitely like a good mix of just the Fallout
Everything.
universe.
Yeah, the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know,
Yeah.
I was very pleased with the cinematography. The acting was hella good. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Dude, I love
was
the chick.
impressed, you know?
Yeah, she's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, that is. I'm putting it on the record now for all the fucking like, what do you say? Diversity and sex hire, you know,
Yeah.
that want the big, powerful fucking female role that's like the protagonist. That's how you fucking do it.
That's how you do it.
That is how you fucking
She
do it.
was a fucking badass.
Yeah, her being a girl wasn't her identity. She was a badass, bro.
Yeah.
She was a person that was challenged with her ways to be good and then accepted it towards the end, still trying to be good, right? But
Yeah.
now understands the harshness of the world,
Oh,
right?
man,
Like,
when he's
dude,
making her-
so good.
When he's
bro.
making her like drink rad water.
Yeah, and she breaks to it and drinks it, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Oh.
yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
You know, and then at the end when she tells him that, like, are you, like, not that you coming, but basically, I can't remember the line right now, but it was basically she threw his principles back in his face of, like, you don't have to be a fucking killer and heartless person, but I understand that I have to be hard to some degree.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
right?
I think that's when she just leaves him with all the drugs, right? Like, and
Yes, that's right, yes,
he donates
yes.
her to the fucking lab with the Codsworth bot.
yeah,
and then
yeah.
She comes out and she just
saves
like,
his ass.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
here, fucking take all the drugs, fucking
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah, well, and they meet at the end too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and like the guy understands that knows where she's at,
Yeah.
but she's not giving up her principles. You
Yeah.
know, they just
Also-
evolved. You know,
And I love that they were able to give one of those like ghouls a good backstory
yeah.
because I thought he
Yeah.
was the mayor of Good Neighbor.
At first, yeah.
the Jack, whatever his name is, in Good Neighbor, but no, he's just his own ghoul.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
they gave
yeah.
him tons of backstory, and I like even in the beginning that I didn't understand that he was the fucking guy from the
the thumbs up dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's the fucking guy that you're talking about the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they bring that to you by like episode like 4 or 5. They keep showing it to you,
Yeah.
and his scenes.
And you don't
but-
really make that connection.
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
It takes a while till they finally
Yeah.
like bridge them together
Yeah.
and by something he
There's
says.
some subtle hints for
Yeah.
sure, and especially when you go back and watch it again, there's some subtle foreshadowing that I really appreciate. But yeah, like they do an excellent show, don't tell.
Yeah.
You know, which is like so refreshing because there's so many fucking movies. They're like, oh my God, so and so's coming to blow up our planet, and we need to do this, this, and this, and this in order to
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Yeah.
And let's go do it. And literally, the movie's exactly them doing this, this, and this. That's
Yeah.
literally it.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Maybe a twist at the
Yeah.
end. You know,
No,
like
thank you.
it's. I hate to say it, but it's the Marvel effect. I kind of call it. You know.
Yeah.
Did we talk about this on the podcast? No, I talked about something. I had a rant with some friends about how I believe that Marvel. How much time do we have? We have 10 minutes. We don't have enough time to go through it and dissect this, but we'll do it on another episode. But long story short, Marvel movies have now become comic book movies. By that I mean that the world is so expansive now that in a way you can read one or watch one movie and it may connect to the other ones, but in the grand scheme of things, they don't completely matter anymore.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
Well, we've gotten past the
RDJ
point-
wants to be Iron Man again.
Yeah, well,
And
because
he
he did a
can.
good fucking job at it.
Well,
you
that
know?
and he can because of the multiverse. He's just RDJ in a different multiverse.
Yeah,
he wasn't
true.
in that
True.
one Thanos one. Like he was just this is a different one.
Yeah, and maybe just because it was so fresh and new, right? But
Yeah.
remember when the first Iron Man movie came out and how fucking hype that was?
Oh,
Not even just the fact that it came out, just how good it was.
Came out on
you
my
know?
birthday, freshman year.
Yeah.
I was in a foot race to the theater after school with my
Yeah,
buddy.
yeah.
And I tripped over the curb.
Oh no.
Fucked my ankle up. I was in a cast and a crutches for the rest of the year.
Oh no.
But I
Was
limped.
that what that was from?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I limped to the theater, and then this is before cell phone. I limped home
Oh damn.
with a broken
yeah,
ankle.
because you
I
couldn't
just,
fucking say anything.
I just
oh my
dragged myself
God,
home,
bro.
Like, it was just
Yeah,
what it had
'cause
to
it
be
was
done.
worth it.
It was so fucking worth it, bro. That
Yeah,
movie was
dude.
awesome.
Especially when he stood there and like, ladies and gentlemen, this is the future, and everything
Yeah.
blew up behind him in the mountain range.
Oh.
You know, like,
Oh, man.
oh, bro, dude,
God
it's so
damn.
good. That Ricky, I was talking to Ricky about it, which he needs to be on the show. We keep fucking talking about it, you know,
Yeah.
but one of these days we will. But he talked about like, dude, the scene where Iron Man's making fucking the first like prototype.
Yeah.
Iron Man suit, like
Yeah.
we could work out to, bro. It's so fucking like adrenaline and energizing with the music and how he's just like clang, clang,
Yeah.
making the fucking.
Yeah, he's got
Iron
all
Man.
these fucking
dude, it's
Arabs.
so sick.
He's got all these
bro.
Arabs armed to the teeth, thinking he's making something else.
Yeah, dude,
You know, and
it's
he's just
so good.
in there tricking
bro.
them.
So point being is that magic is gone. I don't care what you say. You know, like
Fair.
there are still good movies.
Yeah.
The comic book style Marvel, the comic book movie will say, the current movies are still good. They're still put together well. You know, they don't have the same level of magic and significance as pretty much the first phase, all the way up to like
Yeah.
more or less Endgame.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll give you that all the way up to the animated Spider-Mans that have been coming out.
yeah.
Those are pretty fucking groundbreaking. Like the art styles, the mixing of art styles, and like just the music and the story, and like I would say that's the only thing like Marvel related since Endgame that's been worth a damn.
Yeah.
You know, because there's now that they're doing it's like all these fucking 30-minute shows.
Yeah.
You know, like Loki and
Yeah, and
fucking-
they're great, you know.
I don't give a shit.
You know?
It's just, I watched an episode of Loki and they reused so much Avengers 1 footage. I was like, oh, this was just get your money, you know,
Yep.
get your wallet out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, because he's going back in time and
Bro,
stuff
that-
into those different, you know.
the scene of the first time, quote unquote, that the Avengers are all together. And it's that shot where it's panning around them in a circle in New York City with the skyscrapers and the aliens are coming in.
Yeah.
Is used so fucking much
Really?
for anything Marvel. You'll see that thing. Like every time you watch a Marvel movie now, they do the thing where in the letters of the show, they're showing you like scenes from like a bunch of different Marvel shit. That Avengers clip right there is going to be there every single time. They did it in Loki like 3 times.
It's like
every time
iconic, yeah.
every time they would like mention the Avengers, you would see that. It'd be like
Yeah.
somebody would like bring it up on like a little hollow blip, right? And it would project the Avengers with that panning around shot as if that's right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Even
yeah.
though Loki was there at that moment,
Right,
You know? But
right.
he's looking at that with new eyes as if he doesn't know what that is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then, or just in general, like a Coke commercial. is gonna have that scene. Like I feel like I've seen that one little clip just on everything everywhere. It's fucking nuts. And like I also agree. Like I think that magic is mostly gone because it's just you show me what you can do. Unless we're gonna take it into the next level of immersion, it's all the same, bro. Like Endgame just felt like to me it was just like here's everything we've done over the last 15 years.
Yeah.
We brought it all back out of the closet one more time so we can get a couple bucks off of it. Here's all the female characters that you've seen.
Right.
Here's all the special characters that you've seen.
Yeah, here's the moment for each one, everybody.
Here's all the comic reliefs. Like, here's, like, it's that to me just felt like it was like a yard sale. It was just Marvel just bringing all the toys and throwing them on the table and being like, remember all of these?
Yeah,
you guys love these. And we're all like, that was the best fucking movie there's ever been.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's people who watch from when Hulk snaps his finger the first time with the gauntlet till the end only, and they watch it a lot.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah.
Like just that, like from the right when he first gets the gauntlet and snaps his fingers, right when it's the beginning to the whole war, essentially. So it's like the latter half of the movie,
right?
And they just watch that shit on repeat.
Yeah,
it's fucking nuts. But I mean, like I watched the new Godzilla Kong movie.
Yeah, right.
Even that was just like. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
how many times can I watch
these? It's a spectacle at this point.
Oh, great! Now they're on each other's side. Okay, they've been doing that since Rampage when I was a child. Like this isn't new.
Like guys, this isn't making record numbers anymore.
They gave King Kong like a cool little fist weapon he can use to punch harder.
Yeah,
I was like, fuck this movie.
Yeah, dude, and when you look at movies like that have a overall downward slope in box offices with occasional spikes and everything, you have to look at that whole slope downwards and say like, okay, is it we're making bad movies or is it we're making movies that people don't really completely care about, right? And it's like you can't argue that, oh, well, that movie made millions of dollars. I'm like, sure, because people are used to going to movies as a cultural phenomenon, right?
And $1 million isn't that many people anymore.
No, it's
like
not,
$20.
You know, right? Yeah, exactly.
It's
right?
Fucking what? 50,000 people saw it.
Yeah, so you can't compare movies that have like, well, this made several millions, you know, and okay, what about the King Kong and Godzilla movies afterwards? Did it make more than that last movie? It's like, well, no, but close. I'm like, okay, well, is it a downward slope throughout all of these movies? And the answer is yes. That's because people are getting tired of the fucking movies you're turning out. You know, there's probably a niche market that loves the fuck out of Godzilla. That's always going to be there, you know. But if your goal is to appeal to as many people as possible in a global expanse to make money, you're clearly losing it, you know. And I think what made me think about that, because that's what's been happening with Marvel, is that there's a couple spikes like Spider-Verse and really good movies. You know, don't get me wrong, right?
So good.
But then, like when you look at the entire,
Right.
If you look at the entire like from Iron Man to Endgame and its overarching like profit margin and the amount of like influence it had on the world, you know, it's significant. You know, and I was trying to figure out why is that, and like I kind of nailed on it's the end of Marvel's first beginning and end of their narrative, right? They start with Iron Man and they bring in the characters everyone knows, and everyone knows that okay, we're building the Avengers, they're gonna start fighting each other, and then a big bad of that whole first phase comes together, and then it ends at Endgame. It's a full narrative experience across all movies.
Exactly. And nobody did that before.
Right. And then now it's arguably, yes, the movies connect together, but it's a spider web now, right? Like you don't necessarily need to see
Spider-Verse.
much, you know. But I think that's what it is. Honestly, you know.
I mean, not just Spider-Verse, but in Tom Holland's Spider-Man, in the last one, he breaks the multiverse.
Right.
So that was Marvel being like, we can do whatever we want.
And the newer Doctor Strange movies don't really connect to things. There's a couple Black Panther movies that don't really like they connect, but they don't really establish an overarching narrative.
Yeah, now we're at the point where it's like, it doesn't even matter.
We've turned into monster of the week, which is comic books. You know, that's why I call them. They've achieved comic book movie status. Maybe not even achieved. They just turned into it. You know?
Well, then they're not making anything else. I can't think of the last comedy movie that was in theaters.
Right? Yeah.
You know
exactly.
Like,
yeah.
They just go straight to their Netflix, Prime, whoever, and they're making comedy movies still. There's like Ricky Stenicki with John Cena was fucking hilarious.
Oh really? I didn't even know that was a movie.
Yeah. Well, that's because it's like
it's not advertised.
It's not in the theaters
or-
anymore.
yeah.
It's not like what it used to be. Seth Rogen killed comedy movies with Judd Apatow. Like, they got the last few contracts, and then they closed them out for good.
Yeah,
It's like
dude.
Judd Apatow and Seth Rogen literally just closed the rope behind them and said, "We don't need it anymore."
You know where comedy went? YouTube and other fucking services like that.
Yeah, 'cause-
That's where comedy went.
well, it's all,
bro.
it was cheap to make.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right,
It's-
exactly.
Because it's all dependent on the dialogue and situations. And Seth Rogen was also, and Judd Apatow are kind of, they're undeniable. They were
Right.
just so good at it.
Right, you
like-
couldn't contest for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And but now we're in the scene where it's just going to be monster movies, or just like, how can we give Jason Statham a reason to kill people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what pissed off Liam Neeson today?
Yeah.
You know, like I just watched the newest Jason Statham movie called The Beekeeper.
Oh.
And the idea is that he's a beekeeper. He's
Of
literally
course.
a beekeeper.
Yeah, yep.
But then at the same time,
we can't think
beekeepers is a special form of like militia that's above the government, that operates above the government. Everything that they do is legal.
What the
And
fuck?
like they're allowed to kill and everything at their own discretion.
What the fuck?
And like the CIA is afraid of them and the FBI is afraid of them.
Why are they called beekeepers?
Because they're
Fucking
the
why?
natural order to keep the hive in order.
Okay, I like that. But then
Yeah.
why call the fucking movie Beekeeper? That's the
Yeah.
that's the
It was literally
Oh my
just
fucking
how
God.
what's the loophole to where we are allowed to make Jason Statham kill everybody? All right, well this time I don't know. He's part of a special
yeah.
government spec ops program that Navy SEALs are afraid of. What do we call them? Beekeepers? What? Like, what?
Was that baby keeper? No, beekeeper.
Beekeepers?
Oh, okay, sure.
And then like
Sure.
he moved his head to the left to let that water ball fly past his fucking head. And, all right, well I didn't have
dude.
another title.
Yeah, movies. It's a real shame because there's a couple real bangers that come out, and then just nothing follows it. You
Yeah.
know, and
I
it might
am-
be because we have a different perspective from when we grew up. Movies
Yeah.
had more of a wow effect. You know.
I am excited for the new Venom whenever that comes
yeah?
out. Because the last Venom was Carnage,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where they tied into Spider-Man.
Oh,
And
sure.
it's tying into
Venom 2
Spider-Man.
was okay.
It's tying into Spider-Man where the multiverse is open.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So the idea
remember
of
at the end, yeah.
the third one is supposed to be just fucking horde of symbiotes.
Fuck. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that, and then now it's finally tied the Tom Hardy Venom
Mm-hmm.
into the MCU, which is sick because like, I mean, you need that, just like Josh Brolin with Thanos. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a really good villain, it makes it that much better.
Yeah.
And like, it's hard to even hate Tom Hardy
Mm-hmm.
as like Venom, because as Eddie Brock, like he doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah, well, Tom Hardy does such a good job too.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh,
like
yeah.
he does. It might be an unpopular opinion, but I do think Tom Hardy was a good Eddie Bravo. I think some people don't really like him as Eddie Bravo for some reason.
Yeah, I love him.
But I also don't really know the comic book Eddie Bravo too well. You know,
Yeah.
so I could be
I
biased.
only knew Topher Grace's version
yeah.
when he did the Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Right.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, and that Eddie Brock sucked.
Yeah, so I don't really know, honestly. Long story short, it's Marvel movies nowadays, they might be following a formula that they did, before.
Yeah.
But it's like double dipping that formula isn't going to bring the magic back,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the first phase had something going for it, and I think it's that full complete beginning to end narrative, you know.
Well, and
that
first
made it,
like,
right, and the
never
first.
seen this before.
Right, yeah, that helps for
We've
sure. Mm-hmm.
seen trilogies, but not something like this. where-
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just think that the Marvel executives need to put some shit down,
yeah.
and like look at other things for
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit. You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
And DC needs to lean into their fucking villains.
Yeah, because they have some good ideas.
Yeah, like their villain movies are great. Their heroes honestly could suck a lot of dick.
Yeah, but their villains are excellent, dude.
Great
Like, they're
villains.
so good, bro.
Great villains. All right, we'll see you next week, folks.
Later.